Captured by the Gestapo, tortured for days, sent to a concentration camp designed to erase people forever. Forest Yeo-Thomas survived all of it, not once, but again and again. The Nazis believed no one escaped their grip, but there was one man who kept proving them wrong. They called him the White Rabbit. Before he became a ghost hunted across Europe, Forest Yeo-Thomas was just another man answering the call of war. When World War II erupted, he joined Britain's Royal Air Force, expecting a conventional fight: planes, uniforms, clear lines between friend and enemy. But the war was changing, and Britain needed men who could disappear. The Special Operations Executive was formed for one purpose: set Europe ablaze from the shadows. SOE agents were trained not to fight armies, but to sabotage them, manipulate them, and vanish before anyone realized they were there. Yeo-Thomas was perfect for it. Fluent in languages, calm under pressure, and fearless in a way that unsettled even his instructors. Soon he was no longer just Forest Yeo-Thomas. He became Shelley, Seahorse, and eventually the White Rabbit. Occupied Europe was a chessboard filled with traps. German patrols flooded the streets. Informants lurked everywhere. One wrong word, one wrong glance meant arrest or worse. Yeo-Thomas moved through it all with astonishing ease. He met resistance leaders in cafes, passed messages in train stations, slipped across borders using forged papers that would collapse under the smallest scrutiny. More than once he narrowly avoided capture. A knock on the wrong door, a train delayed too long, a checkpoint that wasn't supposed to be there. Each time he escaped. Each time the legend grew. Among resistance fighters, whispers spread of a British agent who could vanish at the last second, just when capture seemed certain, like a rabbit diving into its burrow. By 1944, the Gestapo was closing in. On his third mission to France, danger followed Yeo-Thomas everywhere. 6 times he narrowly avoided arrest. 6 times he slipped through hands reaching for him. But the 7th time was different. Someone talked. A betrayal from within the resistance, whether by fear, coercion, or desperation, sealed his fate. The Gestapo moved quickly. There was no dramatic chase, no final escape, just the cold certainty of handcuffs clicking shut. Forest Yeo-Thomas was under arrest, and everyone knew what that meant. The interrogations began immediately. For 4 days, Yeo-Thomas was questioned relentlessly. The Gestapo wanted names, networks, safe houses, drop points. He gave them nothing. Instead, he told them a simple story. He was just an RAF pilot. No resistance ties, no secret missions, no conspiracies. The interrogators didn't believe him. But belief didn't matter. Pain was their language. And still, he said nothing. Each hour he survived increased the odds that others would live. Eventually, the Gestapo decided interrogation wasn't enough. Yeo-Thomas was sent to Buchenwald. It was a place designed to erase hope. Prisoners disappeared into forced labor, starvation, and brutality. Survival was never guaranteed. Escape was unthinkable. But Yeo-Thomas had already accepted one truth. If he stayed, he would die. So he did the unthinkable. When a French prisoner died, Yeo-Thomas swapped identities with the corpse. In a system drowning in paperwork and chaos, the Nazis recorded him as dead. And for a moment, he was free. Freedom didn't last. Yeo-Thomas was captured again. This time, he was interrogated by one of the most feared men in occupied France, Klaus Barbie, the Butcher of Lyon. Barbie was notorious for cruelty that broke even hardened resistance fighters. Yeo-Thomas was beaten so severely that guards believed he wouldn't survive. Then, something extraordinary happened. He stopped moving. His breathing slowed, then seemed to stop entirely. The guards checked him and left. They believed he was dead. But hours later, when the prison was quiet, Forest Yeo-Thomas opened his eyes. Against every expectation, he escaped once more. Through forests, through chaos, through the collapsing remains of Nazi control. When the war finally ended, Forest Yeo-Thomas was alive. Many of the men who hunted him were not. He returned home quietly. No speeches, no self-promotion, no grand retelling. Because to him, survival wasn't heroism, it was duty.
Forest Yeo-Thomas would later receive some of Britain's highest honors. But his greatest achievement wasn't medals. It was endurance. In a war designed to crush people completely, he refused to break. Captured, tortured, sent to die, and every time he slipped away. That is why they called him the White Rabbit, because no matter how tightly the trap closed, he was never where they thought he'd be.